What's up, and welcome back to another Tim Gettys and Blessing Adeoye Jr. Nintendo Switch 2 hands-on impression. We spent the entire day playing Nintendo Switch 2 for the very first time. We played a whole bunch of different games. We're going to be doing a bunch of mini games cast, talking about our experience with the hardware, a ton of the software, a bunch of things in between, all of that stuff. So stay tuned to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames for all of it. But Bless, what are we talking about now?
We're talking about that Mario Kart world.
Mario Kart world. You know, for many years, we've been playing Mario Kart 8 in different forms. Whether it was me on the Wii U, not many other people did, but I did, you know. Then I played it again on the Switch. Then I played the booster packs, all of that stuff, right? We've been playing it. It's great. We've questioned, what could a Mario Kart do?
Where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? Did they go somewhere that you think was worth it?
Oh, they went somewhere. They went like the place. They went essentially open, right? With it, of course, you guys see the direct, so y'all know, right? This is a more open Mario Kart. You have more players, and we got to play quite a few different modes.
Explain what we did.
So I guess we did this in different phases, right? Because we get to the event that we're in, we watch the direct at the same time that you guys watch the direct, and then we go into this preview event. And the way they did it was pretty smart. They started us all off just playing like a regular race of Mario Kart World, right? We do a Grand Prix situation. We then, after that, all go into a bigger room, and we each go to a station, and we play, what is it,
Knockout mode.
We play the Knockout mode, which is essentially, if you're a nerd and you played Burnout, think like the Eliminator mode. If not, think almost like a Battle Royale, essentially, right? Where everybody's going, and at certain intervals, people under a certain place get knocked out of the race. And then the last stretch of the race ends up being like a few people that are racing for supremacy, right? Racing for first place. And let me tell you, I got to start off just talking about the Knockout mode.
Let's do it.
Because for me, that was the highlight.
Yeah.
That was the thing where I was like, this is some of the most fun I've had playing Mario Kart. And I'm sad that I've only gotten to play one race of that because you went back and played even more.
I went back. I got second place the first round. 24 racers.
Yep.
I got second place the first one. I was like, that ain't good enough for me. Logan Plant from IGN got first. And I was like, I need my revenge. So I went back and I got first, baby.
Which is exactly what you need to do. So, like, I think the thing for me that really brings it all together, aside from, like, I think the polish and the prettiness of Mario Kart World, because I think the presentation this time around, they found a way to step up somehow.
You know, it's so interesting. It's funny because I agree to an extent. Mario Kart 8, I think, is kind of a perfect looking game.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is an example of where software meets hardware, where it needs to be. Like, I love the look of that game. I love the look of this too.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a substantial improvement, but I think it's all the
It's
little
the
differences.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
the costumes.
the amount of stuff, the amount of costumes.
It's the rolling start at the beginning.
Exactly. All the 24 racers like rolling in. It's the amount of new items, and it's the little details, because you played a couple matches like here or there.
Yeah.
I kept going back. Like, this was the game that I played the most in different modes, handheld and on TV and all of it. And I was shocked at how many little details there were in terms of different animations that the characters would do for tricks and stuff. Way more than last time. And every cart seemed to have like unique features to it. Like, I was on a motorcycle and it had this like an antenna on the top of it, and the way that it would interact and like light up at certain points, it was just like, what's going on? But it just was like, it felt unique to that. I was in a weird rocket ship cart at one point, and anytime I'd get a mushroom or like I was snaking behind somebody and I would get a boost, the rocket engines would literally like have fire pop out of them.
That's awesome.
And I was like, oh wow, like
that's really cool.
It was those little flourishes that I think make this stand out visually from Mario Kart, besides, of course, it being 4K.
Yeah, it being 4K,
and
right?
looking damn good.
God, really driving it home, pun intended. So Knockout mode for me was such a highlight, was such a special thing, because they essentially put together a full Grand Prix into one track. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, so, okay, this is where this game gets so interesting. The whole world's map, right, is made up of different areas that are vaguely themed. Within those vague themed areas, there are the Grand Prix courses, and those courses are made up of a lot of just new ideas, but also kind of returning elements of all the classic Mario Kart courses over time, where it's not just like, oh, Moo Moo Meadows is here exactly as it was, but it's like a new version of Moo Moo Meadows.
Yeah.
Like, elements of it, that the things we all know and love about it are here, and they kind of seamlessly lead into other parts in that part of the world. But in Knockout mode, it kind of takes them and seemingly almost like
connects them.
Secret Wars, Doctor Doom Battle World style kind of connects them and it is amazing. Like
Yeah.
when you start off the knockout mode, you see it it randomly like generates a bunch of the levels you're going to go on. You're like, okay, it's one's from this area, one's from this area, one's from this area, and then when you play through it, they just connect, and it's like magic.
Yeah, it's so incredible, and it leads to such like an intense race, because I underestimated how much fun an extended Mario Kart race would be, but there's something about going from, oh, we're all going at the same time. All right, oh man, it's a battle between me and Tim for first place. Oh man, okay, I'm getting left behind. All right, I'm in it. Boom. All right, we're on to another track. Oh snap. All right, here we go. And like, it's funny when I assume it was Lakitu, right? When Lakitu comes up with the sign, that was like 1 out of 6 or whatever. You did your first lap out of 6. I was like, wait, we're only a sixth of the way through this, and it keeps going and going, and like it honestly felt like I was building a story as this race was going.
And to that, man, something that I'm so impressed with this game in both modes that I played. I guess there's even more modes, because there's the free roam mode that you play before, as you're kind of just waiting for this knockout mode to happen. That I imagine will be kind of the single player mode that we play later. But I was so impressed with the fact that every single, and maybe this will change, and maybe there will be things later, but I don't think so. Every level you play is in the style of the Snow Mountain Wario level from Mario Kart 8.
That's what it felt like, yeah.
It's not laps.
Yeah.
It's you're not going over the same thing multiple times. It's always something different.
Like an A to B situation.
So it's checkpoints instead of laps, right? And that works so well for the knockout mode, but you add on that tension like you're talking about of, normal Mario Kart, there's the bounce, but it's essentially number 1 and 2 are fighting, and then there's everyone in the back, maybe they get lucky and win.
Yeah.
In this one, because every time you get to a checkpoint, a certain number of characters are straight up knocked out, there's a level of tension of like when there's 24 people, it's utter chaos.
It's chaos, yeah.
There's items everywhere, everything's getting hit, and you're just like, oh man. And then it's like, oh wait, by the time we get through the first checkpoint, 4 people are getting eliminated. I got to be in top 20. And then it's top 16. And it just keeps going up. And that race for first, that final lap stress is with you the entire time.
Yeah. Legitimately, I couldn't be more excited for Mario Kart World, right? And it's funny because we were having conversations before about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and what you do with a new Mario Kart. And I was like, it's going to be more Mario Kart. They found a way to make it feel special. They found a way to make it feel very exciting. And so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, I want to keep talking about Mario Kart because there is a lot more to talk about. But we're going to do that right after a word from our sponsors. This episode's brought to you by Lost Skies. What would you do if you woke up and the world around you was now floating high in the clouds? Lost Skies is the new open-world survival-like that puts the power of exploration and choice in your hands. Use the physics-based grappling hook, glider, and your own custom airship to traverse the remains of this fractured world and uncover its mysteries. You and up to 5 friends will harness the power of ancient technology to survive the hostile islands that scatter the horizon and the threats that lurk in the sky itself. The battles are intense, so it's up to you to build a skyship to shelter you in fierce storms and take the battle to gigantic monsters. Want to take a break from fighting in the skies? Use the intuitive island creator and share your builds with the community. Head over to Steam and Wishlist Lost Skies today and discover what's lurking beyond the horizon. This episode's brought to you by Monaco 2. Gather your crew, plan your heist, and let the chaos unfold in Monaco 2. Return to Monaco, a city teeming with excellent scores and gullible marks ripe for getting parted from their prized possessions. Go it alone or tackle heists as a team of 4 with online and local co-op. Just remember, even the best laid plans can blow up in your face, so you'll have to stay on your toes. Monaco 2 is the sequel to the cult classic Monaco. What's yours is mine that expands on every aspect of the game. New characters bring unique abilities and playstyles to help you escape the heat. And with new modes and procedurally generated levels, every run is full of surprises. The heist is on when Monaco 2 arrives on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation on April 10th. Y'all know how important it is to wishlist these games. It helps the developers so much, so please wishlist Lost Skies and Monaco 2. This episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. You sign up for something, forget about it after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month after month. The subscriptions are there, but you're not using them. In fact, 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. Thanks to Rocket Money, you can see all of your subscriptions in one place and cancel the ones you're not using anymore. And save more money. Rocket Money has helped multiple members of Kind of Funny learn that they're still paying for things they totally didn't even realize. You know who I'm talking about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/kindoffunny today. That's rocketmoney.com/kindoffunny. So knockout mode, definitely I think a highlight.
Yes.
Right? But just one of many.
There's so much to talk about with this thing, and I want to dig into a lot of your stuff because you played way more than me. But one of the first initial things that I was like, oh snap, seeing was the character select screen. There are so many dang characters in this game. Characters that have no business being behind the wheel. They got those cow from Moo Moo Meadows up in this thing.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, all right.
The Piantas from Mario Sunshine.
They got a Goomba up in here.
Yeah.
Just behind the wheel.
And I think it's important to note, all Mario characters.
Yeah.
You know? I think we've talked about what is Mario going to be, or Mario Kart going to be. It's going to be more Smash Bros. Way more crossover. And who knows, DLC could come.
Sure.
I think it probably
will, yeah.
You know? But I actually really love the Mario love that they have going on here. And that goes through... It permeates through every bit of this video game in ways that I can't wait to dive into, because the character select screen, how deep it is, you go through the different costumes they have, all the references to past Mario titles across all of the sub-franchises of Mario, not just the platformers or whatever, but like Mario Party references and things like that.
Yeah.
But the courses, when we first saw the initial Switch 2 reveal and like the little pit stop looking thing and like a Western area, and then when they announced it today when we saw the direct and it was like Mario Kart World, I was like immediately a little let down just because I'm like, the idea of just Mario Kart, but like in real world locations, kind of fine, I guess. But oh my God, I'm so wrong. That immediately transitions into the most Mario in a Mario Kart of all time.
Yes.
The amount, back in the day, Mario Kart, maybe there's a Mario penguin walking back and forth on the level, getting in your way. The amount of enemies from every Mario game I've ever played functioning the way they do in those games.
Yeah.
Hammer Brothers.
Hammer Brothers throwing hammers at you.
Right? The circular black things with the like green feet and the yellow spike. It was in Mario 64, so you can't really tell what it is.
Yeah.
In the lava level that kind of bump into you. Yeah, bullies.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is. Like, there's bullies walking around, and they function that way. They hit you, and it bounces you back in that way.
That was really fun to see.
It goes on and on and on, and the references and directs, like, this is from this thing, littered across this whole thing. It's funny, I brought up the Battle World earlier. Like, it really
does
like
actually feel
Mario
like that.
Battle World, and it's very cool.
Yeah. Another thing I want to shout out, they're doing cart selection different this time. So once you do the character select screen, you're not picking the parts.
That's interesting.
You're just picking a straight up cart.
Yeah.
Which,
you're right.
which immediately stood out to me. I was like, oh, snap. Okay, well, and I'm not, here's the thing. I don't know how you ever felt about the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like mixing and matching your cart. I'm fine to do away with it.
Dude, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, and more so, like, I'm a standard cart baby.
Yeah.
I just go, straight in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for this, I was like, I'm going to play around with a bunch of them just to kind of see what's going on. But yeah, let's try to talk about a little bit of the differences that we've noticed between World and this. Like, that is one of them.
That is one of them. Did you ever pick up it's like it looks like an item block, but it's a different thing. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It's like, I might have to find the trailer and see if I can show it to you. It almost looks like it could have been like a wonder kind of thing.
So that's what's really interesting.
Yeah.
There's many new items. There is, and many returning items. The feather from the Super Nintendo game that allows you to bounce,
Jump.
which is going to be great for shortcuts. That's back, and a whole bunch of new ones. There's Kamek, the wizard, you know, from Mario World, but like Yoshi's Island.
Did you get a feel for what exactly Kamek does?
Yes. So it casts a spell, and it turns other people into random Mario enemies. So it turns them into the bones fish.
Yeah.
Or it turns them into the dolphin from Mario World. Gameplay wise, I don't know what it does.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it did though. And when I got turned into a dolphin, I thought I had to like jump to get it off or something. I didn't. So like it was a little unclear what's going on. But a couple other new items. There was there's a coin block.
Yeah.
You can get 20 coins now instead of 10. There are way more coins.
So many coins.
I think this game is, and fingers crossed, I actually hope this because I feel like coins have been a feature of the previous Mario Kart games. I hope that I'm right about this. It seems like they're going to matter a lot more in this one because there's 24 racers, there's chaos at all times. Whenever people get hit, coins are flying everywhere. So there's coins all over the map.
Dude, there's even a new item that's a
golden shell.
A golden shell that if you throw it, it leaves behind a trail of coins that you can follow.
Yep. So you can do that, and then there's also a coin block that you get and it goes over, and you can just jump, and get coin. So I think that with that amount of coin-focused items and how many coins are literally popping out of people, I think it's going to matter a lot more, which is interesting. And the Wonder Flowery thing, it's not a Wonder Flower, but like
it kind of
does. I noticed it most in the free roam mode, which is the kind of like lobby waiting room before you get into the knockout mode, like when you're waiting for a match. And again, I was just in the open area. I could go all over the world, like seamlessly while doing this. And the world was like surprising. Like there's like the clear kind of courses you got to get into, but then otherwise you're just in this open area. There's just traffic everywhere. There's like ramps and cars. Hella Mario enemies just like walking around. Yoshi, like a herd of Yoshis just walking by. It feels like they created a like living world. It almost feels, I don't mean it this dramatic, but it feels like, oh wow, they Breath of the Wild did Mario Kart. Like you turn a corner and you're seeing something, you're like, oh wow, there's a little town of Shy Guys.
Yeah, it's fully realized. Is the thing. It's like, oh, y'all put a lot of effort into like making this a Mario World.
And Mario Kart World. Yeah. And so that item is everywhere in the free roam.
Okay,
mode.
really?
Everywhere. And when you get it, at least in the free roam mode, it gives you a speed boost right then, but then it also gives you a randomized costume. So it'll then just change whatever character you're wearing's costume.
Okay.
My theory is that in the single player mode, those might be collectibles. You're going around collecting. That's how you unlock new carts or new costumes or whatever it is, which I am so into.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that idea. Like, I think I only was able to get one once during the race, and I couldn't tell exactly what it was doing. Right, I was like, I think it had the function of an item block in the race.
Yeah,
I think it just gave me
it gives you food. So it gives you like randomized food, like those vending machines in the world. There's a lot about this that we don't know.
Yes, that's the thing.
There is a direct coming out, the Mario Kart Direct,
which I can't wait for, because again, I did one Grand Prix race, and then I did the knockout mode, right? And that was one long race as well. And when I tell you this game is so jam-packed that, like, I feel like in any other Mario Kart, you give me one race and I know what that game is.
Yeah.
This one, I'm like, I don't know if I got all the items.
And, dude, oh man, there's so much to break down here, because I felt that way after our first round when we just did the Grand Prix. It's like, okay, it's Mario Kart. The tracks are way wider because there's way more characters, which dramatically shifts the gameplay.
Yeah.
Like
it makes it way more chaotic.
It changes it substantially.
Yeah.
But the drift feels exactly the same in all the right ways.
Yep.
Like this feels as good as Mario Kart 8, which like, thank God. But I was so surprised when I went back and picked the controller up, or the actual tape or handheld mode, Switch 2, to play the Grand Prix a couple more times. Every single time that I did it, it was a different map. It was like randomized for this demo. And I was like, whoa.
Interesting.
Whoa. And they all felt so different. And even when it loaded up the second map I played, and it was like, oh, cool, it's like a ghost house. I get what we're doing here. And I started going, I'm like, oh, they're directly referencing the style of the SNES ghost house maps.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And then you kind of get through a part of it, and then all of a sudden I'm in a forest, like a dark, ghosty forest. Then you get out of that, and you're like in a cemetery area. And it's like, oh my God, this theme just is going and going and going. And then next match I get, it's like Moo Moo Meadows inspired, but it's not just Moo Moo Meadows. It continues to just change. And it honestly feels like procedurally generated Mario Kart. But then you're like, no, it's so artistically designed, but it feels like it's endless.
Yeah.
It feels like the ideas just keep coming and coming and coming, to the point that I'm like, maybe it's just because these are new maps that we haven't ever played and like whatever. But then when you see the world map and how big it is, I really question, like, are we ever going to be that familiar with these? Or is it always going to feel like we're playing these maps for the first time, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, even from the debut, the Switch 2 reveal, when you look at like what the footage that we saw from that, there seemed to be parts where it's like, oh, you could fit another track in there, or like that is another direction that, like, if you take away this barrier, you can make this into a track as well, right? Like, it seems like they're playing a lot with the idea of, hey, you pick a track and it's more so of a theme, right? But like, every lap is going to be different for what you're doing, and I love that idea. I love them switching things up like that.
A couple changes that I noticed. The D-pad no longer works as kart controls, which bums me out because with racing games, all of them, I am a D-pad boy. So I'm pretty sad about that. But maybe I'm alone.
You're nuts.
I don't know.
You gotta be alone.
I don't know,
I've
man.
never heard of that before.
Hey, man, I'm out here winning first place. I'm getting first and second. You know what I mean? Like things are working for me.
Yeah.
But so taking that away from me now.
Speaking of the D-pad, though, like when we're out in that open lobby area, you press down on the D-pad and it does a Forza rewind.
Yeah, straight up. This is Forza Horizon Mario Kart.
Yeah,
like it's Forza Horizon, but like with Nintendo charm.
Yeah,
it's like it's freaking awesome. So yeah, that's another big change. Specifically the Forza stuff.
Like the rewind.
Getting rid of the D-pad. I don't know if many people are affected, but me. But like, it kind of bummed me out that I couldn't change it. Maybe the options of the final game will let me, but I don't know. But a big change that took me a couple rounds to realize: you no longer need to hold the trigger button to have the green shell hold behind you.
Yes,
it defaults to that.
I noticed that too. The same with the banana.
Yep.
Like because I messed that up a few times.
Yep,
I just accidentally throwing the green shell, and I'm like, what is going on? So yeah, it automatically just sits there as soon as you get in the item box.
Yeah,
it's nice. I like that.
It's pretty cool. It's a difference that I think is going to take some getting used to, but I think it's a great call. Besides that, like I didn't notice too much, but like this just feels right and it feels refined. It doesn't just feel like, oh man, we got to make another Mario Kart. It really feels like they're like, hey, we got to make another Mario Kart. How do we top what we did before?
Yeah, it's a Mario Kart with a lot to chew on, which is very exciting, right? Like, obviously, Mario Kart has been filled with content for, iterations and iterations. But this one is truly filled with content in a way where I'm like, oh, yeah, no, this can carry the launch. Like, this is going to be a thing that is going to be, how much have you completed Mario Kart? Because I got to go over here and collect this thing. And like, oh, man, I still haven't seen all the different iterations of like what this Grand Prix can be or what this could be. Like, I think there's going to be a water cooler conversation about this Mario Kart.
Yes.
And that
again, that's the Breath of the Wild side of it. I'm just like, the weird thing of just like turning a corner and being like, oh wow, there's things here I just didn't expect to see. And that's very, very cool. Another new item is the giant mushroom. From Mario, New Super Mario Brothers DS.
Has that not been in Mario Kart before?
I don't know. I don't remember it. It wasn't an 8.
Roger, look into that.
It wasn't an 8, so I don't know. But
it just seems like something I would have already been.
Or
there.
It's back.
Yeah.
And then HDR looked killer on this game in handheld mode. I was so impressed. The game ran beautifully. It looks great. Having a Mario Kart in 4K on the TV is awesome. It's been there before.
It's been in Mario Kart Arcade, GP, Mario Kart Wii, and
Mario Kart Wii,
Tour.
Okay,
cool. Yeah,
my bad. It's back. It's back, everybody.
And then what else did I have? Oh, man, it's so like the music style. It feels very inspired by the jazz rock of Mario Kart 8, which I think is so damn good. We got new music though, obviously, but a whole bunch of Odyssey remixes I'm hearing popping off, and I'm like, that's exactly what your boy wants. And the one other thing I'll say is that it felt very slow. I was just like, is this 50cc? And I think it's the combination of a couple factors. One, the wider maps, I think just make everything feel like you're moving a lot slower through them, because I feel like the linear ones, it feels like you're getting further distance just visually. But in addition to that, I did confirm we were playing in 100cc mode. So while it wasn't as slow as I might have thought, we're so used to 150.
We are.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, dude, has anyone ever played Mario Kart that's played a Mario Kart before in anything less than 150?
Yeah, who's actually choosing 100cc's? Like, get out of here.
Yeah, so
You're
I'm very happy for that to feel it snappier, and I'm sure that'll immediately quell any of my fears about it. But that was something where I was like, oh, come on, guys.
Yeah, I noticed the same thing, but I figured it was going to be 50cc or 100, so can't wait. Hopefully, I imagine they're going to give that choice for knockout mode of, hey, I want to play in 150cc.
Oh no, it was
did they say?
Yeah. I mean, when I started my second knockout round match, like I saw the menu pop up, and it was like choose, and 100cc was one of the options. So that was like the default that it was on. But I mean, closing remarks on this, I think that this is obviously a killer launch title. Like, I think sales wise, I think critically, I think all of that, like, this makes sense. I understand the potential. I don't know that this is the case. We've been playing games all day, so I don't know exactly what the internet's take is on everything. I can imagine that some people are like, really, just a Mario Kart? Wait to play it, y'all. Like, I do think that this has that, like, oh shit vibe to it, where if they pull this off, I think that this can be one of those like generational Nintendo games.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, right? I'm right there with you. And yeah, like they turned me from okay, cool, another Mario Kart into, oh, I gotta play this goddamn Mario Kart. This looks like it's gonna be different. This looks really good, really good. So
yeah,
very excited for this.
Exciting stuff, everybody. Let us know in the comments below. If you get more hyped based on us talking about this, we have way more Gamescast coming. We're gonna talk Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. We're gonna talk Donkey Kong, Bananarama. I'm never gonna remember the name of this. Bonanza.
With no
just the banana version.
Just Bonanza.
Man. Every video is gonna end with me doing this, like just because I'm an asshole. Not on purpose though. It's just how my dumb brain works. Anyways, I love you all. Goodbye.